KUWC 420 News, Northern California's premier cannabis-centric news station, with your head anchor Little C and your Canna correspondent Big T.
Well, while in the studio in KUWC 420 studios, while we have our Canna expert, Canna correspondent expert, we have what is put together by FlowHub.com. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for putting this compendium of the cannabis industry statistics of 2023. And what I thought would be kind of fascinating is to kind of do a little quiz to see how our Canna expert feels about these statistics and whether he can get close to what they are stating based on our previous knowledge working in the industry. If you don't know all that info, we'll put a little description or thing, blah, 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 to see what we did in the industry and where our expertise comes from. So, I found some fascinating info, at least fascinating to a news correspondent, but I want our Canna expert to weigh in. And the first big bullet point that they have in here, which, well, I need my cheat sheet. I don't want him to say.
Doesn't matter if I'm reading. That makes me look.
Well, I was gonna ask, how much do you think average retail cannabis prices have fallen by?
I would not think they have the retail prices had fallen. I would have thought they have risen,
right?
But seeing that number, I would have never guessed that number of fallen. It's a falling number, ladies and gentlemen.
What they're not saying, though,
we guessed wrong.
just means since cannabis has been legal
Did you just give the number out already?
No, I haven't. So, what my question was going to be to him, but that approximately 20%. Now, being Californians,
That's here in California only, right? Or
no, that's the whole industry, apparently.
That's the whole entire industry across the United States of America. These beautiful United States of America.
Seeing our dispensaries, you wouldn't guess. I mean, we still have eights that are above $60. We have grams.
Does it say why it dropped 20%?
I don't know.
I can take a wild guess.
Saturation. Just businesses are finally catching up with the laws and they're finally able to produce as much as they can. And it's kind of turning into Oregon, right? Remember how they couldn't...
Black market.
They couldn't even get rid of a pound. So it was, started at like $4,000 a pound, then it went all the way down to like 1,000, then it was under 1,000. People were like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden people were struggling to give away, which is staggering. That sucks, but I know they've leveled out a bit. It's not that bad.
Yeah, but I think these guys are fighting black market stuff too.
Just in case.
Let me go see.
Because we have special guests that show up just on the spot. So I've angled my screen so he can't see part of the quiz. But as we were, just to recap, we were talking about how COVID affected sales and why. It's still very shocking to hear that it's declined apparently 20%, but it would make sense that it has gone down since COVID because they had a huge, especially deliveries and curbside had a huge jump in sales with COVID. Everybody was at home. We know that. So it's understandable that it's declined in the past couple of years, but like if we're talking historically, it's gone down, or even just in the past year, if it's gone down 20%, that's a lot. That's kind of like the margins already weren't great, and we mentioned in our last video that pretty much every licensed business is still rocking in the black market, and
the black market. On our next episode.
expose, we will be uncovering the black market like never before. But that's, so prior to a 20% decrease in sales, they were already in the black market. So now, you'd think it's even more appealing. Anyway, fascinating statistic. We're going to carry on with the quiz. So another kind of just some crazy numbers here. At least this is talking about 2022, but still, compared to when we were in the market, 2014, 2018, we know what the prices were like. So if you had to guess, how much has tinctures either gone up or gone down in sales?
Tinctures?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You think those have become more popular or less popular?
I think I want to say less popular because I hate them and I don't like them. I've never liked them.
Yeah.
Never liked the tincture. I've tasted. I've just I've taken them for the fact that a friend has offered them to me. Try this or try, and you do, and you're like, oh, it's the same
Weird.
thing all the time. And what's tinctures made of? Glycerine? Or no, not that. What is it made of?
It's either alcohol or ethanol alcohol or maybe glycerol or glycerin.
Anywho, it just has this weird taste.
We never liked them.
So me personally, I would say it's gone down.
Okay, that is correct.
But numbers, like it's gone down, same as what sales were, 20%, 25%.
That's. Can you see my fucking screen?
No, I can't.
He's good. This is why he's the Canna correspondent expert. 24% drop in sales for tinctures. What about topicals? So salves, lotions, that.
Oh, have they dropped or have they stayed the same?
Same question for all these.
Okay. Those, I feel like they did drop a little, but not as much. They're like in the 10% range.
You can fucking see.
No,
He's good. He's good.
Not lying.
He's getting real fucking close.
But
again, this is why we hired him as our Canna correspondent.
No, the only reason why, think about this, okay?
You are correct.
Okay.
Very, very, very close.
The reason I'm saying this is the state went into recreational use.
That's a good point.
Medical use was a blanket. I'm sorry. I've never ever said, hey, medically, I didn't know when I was smoking weed, I was medically fucking giving myself a, I don't know what it'd be called, a fucking cleanse, you know what I mean? A fucking cleansing, you know what I mean? Body cleansing of the whole holy third eye spirit, and oh yeah. I felt Macho Man, Randy Savage coming there. But anyway, it was just, you didn't know that you had endocannabinoids. You didn't know you had all these other scientific things that were brought to the forefront now.
Yeah. You
had no idea. So what were you fucking using cannabis for? Right. You were using it to smoke weed, right? Not to fucking be like, oh, I'm going to be I'm going to be remedying this, I didn't know cannabis. My point being saying, I didn't know there was no health benefit.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, makes you feel good. Yeah, makes you happy. That's obviously a health benefit. But you don't go, I'm taking this for the health benefits. Yeah. You take it because it makes you feel good. You like the high. You like the sedation, the relaxation, all that type of shit.
The fact that topicals and tinctures and all those went down were not surprising. me getting those numbers right is because they couldn't have went down any lower because they were already having those same numbers because it was medical use only before we went to recreational.
Yeah.
So those cells were either going to stay the same, maybe come up a percent or two, or go down that percentage because now that those people can say, oh, I don't have to buy that topical with my eighth to make it be like, oh, well, I use cannabis. I'll smoke it only at night because I need it at night to go to sleep. I use it because my joints, so I use topicals all day, and then at home I'll fucking smoke a joint. Because I've heard stories like that, dude.
Sure.
And those guys now those people don't have to buy that topical. They don't have to buy that tincture. Fuck it, it's recreational. I'm buying just the eighth. I'm buying just the dab. I'm buying just an edible. I'm buying just this. You know what I mean? So I can see, the only thing I could see gone up would be edibles. If that even went up.
Partially correct. Partially correct. Yes. How much would you guess it's gone up by for edibles?
Very small, like maybe 8%.
Very close. 10.
Okay. But me, that kind of gives me a trick because I know you and we've talked and you're like, oh, that's surprising. Meaning you would think it went down, but it actually went up because you're thinking of all these other things that we've talked about. Black market, regulations, bad crops, things like that. So I would like to say, just to be on the safe side, it went down.
A mirror.
And no, there is a mirror.
You see my computer?
I can't see your computer. I know it's right there. You can't see it. It's blatant mirror right there, just dinging. No, it did go down.
Yes.
But I want to say it went down maybe like I want to say 5%.
Pretty close. 8%, which I would think. But maybe because you can get it on the street so easily, and you can't get the other things on the street as easily. Maybe that's why.
Well, you could do anything. You'll go find. Like I said earlier. So you got that normalizing the kids already. All these kids are normalized already, right? So they're normalized to smoke weed. So they're scoring that weed from a buddy somehow, somewhere.
They're probably getting dispensary weed on the street.
And it cost them $35 to $40 for like the most fire fucking ounces.
Oh, Jesus.
Of chronic, yeah. On the streets, right? And my buddy, matter of fact, I went golfing with a friend of mine. And we went golfing, and I found a sack of weed in his fucking console, and it's all purple, and he's all, check it out. Fucking opened it up, and it hit me so, I was like,
Wait,
dude.
do you mean in the, like, of the golf cart?
No, in his truck. We went golfing before we got out.
Gotcha.
I opened it up. He showed me a jar, but I opened up the console, and I seen there was this bag, and it was, you know, a good, like, maybe 2-3 ounces or something in there, and he said that he was getting it for dirt cheap. I'm saying dirt cheap, and it's like you said, a $60 eighth in the club. Now, when you buy the $60 eighth, when you go to the cash register, you're paying $72, maybe $82 at some places.
Yeah.
So you just paid another $20, $15 to $20 for your eighth, right? So bad. Where this kid, now that just turned 21, who's been getting his shit for like
yeah, fuck
50
that. I'm
bucks.
not paying that much.
He goes there. Yes, the experience, your guys' dispensaries are amazing. You guys put a lot of money into your dispensaries. You guys put a lot of money into your stuff. And we love you, dispensary owners and everything, for doing that. It's the cannabis regulations and the taxes that are ruining it for everybody. Because you deserve to get paid for all that cool shit that you guys design and stuff in their awesome, beautiful dispensaries. Some are shitty. Yeah, get the fuck out of here with those shitty ones. But I'm saying the ones that do put effort and really want to show off, and then you get that experience of the dispensary, and then all of a sudden, it's just slapped across your face with 1/8. You're walking out. You're like, oh, I got this 1/8. The only cool factor is you got to go to a dispensary and get a brand.
Sure. Yeah.
Now,
you get the one you see on IG.
How much cool factor that is wears off after a while.
Say that, yeah.
It wears off. Then you're back to going to your buddy's house and saying, hey, let me get, you know.
Bang for buck. So tinctures, topicals, capsules, and flower declined in 2022 by those percentages we talked about. And I fucking just ruined my next questions. But what beverages, so cannabis-infused beverages, do you think those have fallen or risen, and by how much sales-wise?
That one's hard because I would think they would just steadily stay the same. But I'm going to say, to stay safe, declined about 8 to 10%.
Okay. He's infallible. He is not cheating. That is exactly the opposite. Beverages, according to this, have raised by 10%.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's a good amount.
I hit the mark. Just if I would have flipped it up, I would have went. See, and that was a hard one because because they didn't seem to be like
popular.
A popular thing, you know?
Yeah.
I've yet to have a cannabis soda. Matter of fact, I think we should buy some edible products.
We probably should.
And try them.
What about vape pens?
They went up.
Yes?
They went up. They had to be up in the teens, like 15%.
I would guess that as well, but...
But is it 10% too as well?
No.
Lower than that?
Even lower, yeah.
What is the number, ladies and gentlemen?
It's only showing 5.
5%, dude. I see everybody with the fucking vape pen. That's the crazy thing. It's like everyone, and they're not just like vape pen. It's like an addiction. Like, dude, like even when I had a vape pen, I got like three or four carts for free one time. You know, given to me, and I was like, oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna put this on, put on vape. Dude, I caught myself just.
Like an actual
like
vapor?
It was just just chilling, and so you see them doing that, but now you see them like 2 times you know.
I've done that, yep.
You know, so I would think they were fucking up there, but 5%, that's okay, good.
Interesting, yeah. And then last but not least, pre-rolls as its own category, which is
pre-rolls went down 1,000% because they so disgusting. No,
they're so horrible.
I'm joking. We did an episode on pre-rolls
We
dog
kinda
walkers.
did, yeah.
So, anyways, those are very popular. I feel so. I feel like they went up. They probably went up 5% or something like that.
Well, they definitely went up. You got that correct.
Is it the 25%? Am I wrong this time? It went 25%.
No, nothing hit tincture levels of
Of the
growth
opposite?
or decline. Pre-rolls, they're saying 12% increase.
Oh,
which-
that's good.
That's pretty
good.
high.
That's what if okay. On another note, side note, if you're getting into the business right now, go into distribution and do pre-rolls.
Yeah, that's easy.
That's how you start. That's how you start. Pre-rolls, topicals, things like that. Just do those. But pre-rolls is going to be your
That's
your
that's
money
easier
maker.
than topicals. You don't have to do any infusing. or
No,
anything
no,
like that.
pre-rolls is just
Crush and grind and roll,
yep.
and maybe infuse if you want to make them
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Watch that video if you want to learn more about infused mini joints.
Infused.